So I wanted to create myself an ephemera holder, but I needed some little clear pockets to use in the ephemera holder. And they do create something similar to this or sell something similar to this on Amazon. But right now it's not in my budget to order anything for my projects. I'm on a little tight budget this month. So instead I thought to myself, how could I create my own little label pockets to put in my ephemera holder? And I wanted this to be a no-sew ephemera holder because of course before, if you've seen any of my videos, I've made them the sewing version, and so you can just use acetate. But for this, I wanted clear pockets. So all I'm using is some parchment paper and some laminating pouches as well as my laminator. And these were just items that I have already in my home, so I didn't purchase anything to create these pockets. So I'm starting out by cutting my parchment paper down 4 inches wide, and then I turned it and cut it 2 inches. So it's 4 by 2 because my pockets are going to measure 4.5 by approximately 2 inches. So if you're creating this with me and you want to make different size pockets, just cut your parchment paper down about 1/4 of an inch smaller than the width of your pocket. Then I'm coming in and I'm cutting my laminating pouch to 4.25 inches wide. So now when I lay my parchment paper inside of my laminating pouch, I'm just going to start at the very top with my parchment paper, and I'm just going to kind of center my parchment paper between the two sides, the 4.25 inch width, and of course yours can be any width that you want to create. And then I'm leaving a gap between each piece of parchment paper, and that will be the bottom of our pocket. You need to leave enough on each side and bottom to seal up your pocket. Now, of course, when we run this through the machine, it's going to seal up all of these pockets, but I'll show you in a moment how we're going to open them back up. So once you have everything lined up, you're just going to close your laminating pouch up and just be careful that nothing moves. This is just something I came up with to create the label pockets that I needed. So if you have another idea of something other than parchment paper that may work, just let me know below. That was the only thing I could come up with that may work for this. So then I'm just going to run it through my laminator, and you can see here, my laminator is probably, I'm pretty sure it's over 20 years old. It is very old, but it's still working. So I'm just, like I said, I'm using what I have. And this was a fun project to create, actually. I really enjoyed doing it. So what I'm doing is I'm just trimming off the bottom, and I want to have about 1/8 of an inch around the bottom and the sides. So I'm trying to make that look about even. And then I'm coming across and just trimming across the parchment paper. You can see I've just left a little here. So this is the bottom of the next pocket. So what I'm going to do is just trim that off and trash it. Once again, I'm just going to cut a little slither off of the top of this pocket, and it leaves a little bit of the parchment paper behind, and we're just going to trim that off. And so I'm just going to go through and do that for all of my pockets. And you can see here, then we have a clear bottom once I trim that paper off. And then I'm just going to come back in again and just cut a little slither of the parchment paper. Once I have them all cut out, then I'm just going to take my pockets and remove the parchment paper. So to do this, you just want to start out by just opening your pocket up and then gently pulling it out of each corner. And it comes out pretty easy. Some of them will feel a little tight, but as you can see here, you can get your parchment paper out. And it is a little wrinkled, but I think you still could reuse it if you wanted to reuse it to make more pockets. I had plenty of parchment paper, and you can see how large my sheet of parchment paper was. So I did not have to be too stingy with it when I was creating these pockets. And so you're just going to go through each pocket and remove the parchment paper. As you can see here, my parchment paper stuck in that corner. And so that wanted to show you one of them that did that, because you'll have some that does this. Just take your tweezers and work in that corner, working the little piece of parchment paper, around until you can get a good grip on it, and then just pull it out. So it may feel like it's permanently stuck there, but it's not. If you just get your tweezers down there, you can get it out. So I've gone through my entire stack, and I am down just to a few pockets to go. I created over 40 pockets when I created this project. So in the next video, I will show you how I use these pockets and how I create my no-sew ephemera holder. I'm really surprised how easy it was to create these pockets, and they do have a little frosted look, and I'm assuming that's because when the glue when it goes through and it's trying to melt together, it is trying to melt to the parchment paper, but the parchment paper, nothing sticks to it. So that's why I used the parchment paper to create these. These were very simple to create. Once I started, the process and just cutting the strips of the laminating pouches, then it came together very quickly. And so like I said, I created over 40 pockets for my ephemera holder. I did create 2 different size pockets, but I'm really just showing you the one size in this video. But you could create any size that you wanted, and you could use them in your journals. And later on, I'll show you how I did that. But check out my next video and see how I use these in my ephemera holder. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this quick little video showing you how to create your own little clear pockets. And I hope you'll give it a try. And if you do, let me know below how yours turn out. And if you have any questions, like always, just let me know below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.